Hello, good morning, and welcome aboard to AM News. My name is Denisia Pomaiji. In our very first story, Cabinet has approved urgent measures to fast-track payments to cocoa farmers across the country. Speaking after an emergency cabinet meeting, Minister for Government Communications Felix Kwachio-Fosu announced sweeping reforms in the cocoa sector, describing them as the most far-reaching in its history. The reforms aim to boost domestic cocoa processing, moving the country from exporting raw beans to producing value-added products. Comprehensive restructuring will also take place at Cocoa Board to improve efficiency, transparency, and management of the sector. The Minister for Finance is expected to address the nation today at 11 a.m. to outline the implementation plan and financial framework. Presidential Affairs correspondent Maxwell Agbagba has more in this report.
Of the Bank of Ghana is in that meeting. The finance minister, who is a cabinet minister, is also in that meeting. We know that the boss of Cocoa Board himself, Randy Abe, is also in that meeting. He arrived here about 3 hours ago. He was one of the first people who arrived here at the presidency, the Jubilee House. And that was expected because this whole issue is happening within his sector. So you'd expect that he'd be one of the first people to arrive here. So he's also in there. The trades minister is also in that cabinet meeting. We saw the education minister as well. Interior Minister Muntaka Mubarak is also in that meeting.
Yesterday, we have just concluded a lengthy cabinet meeting, which was an emergency session that discussed the cocoa sector and matters arising there. And at the end of the emergency session, decisive measures have been agreed upon regarding expedited payments of cocoa farmers, regarding the implementation of the most drastic reforms in the cocoa sector, with a view to achieving quantum leaps in domestic processing of cocoa as opposed to exports of raw materials, and various reforms to be carried out at Cocoa Board in order to ensure more effective administration and management of the cocoa sector. Now at 11 a.m. tomorrow, the finance minister will address the people of Ghana and announce these far-reaching measures as agreed upon at the end of the cabinet meeting today. So that is what I have for you.
Well, President Mahama has bemoaned the poor handling of Ghana's cocoa and oil sectors in the past, stating that the country failed to strengthen Cocoa Board's capacity to syndicate effectively, something it had done successfully since the early 1990s. At the inauguration of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy, which he chairs, the president said the issues raised are not about assigning blame, but about drawing lessons and taking responsibility. He charged the advisory group to help correct the mistakes of the past and chart a more sustainable economic path forward. Presidential Affairs correspondent Maxwell Agbagba once again.
The president is the chairman of the committee, so in all we have 13 members of the Presidential Advisory Group on the Economy. Notable amongst them, we have former finance minister and former Bank of Ghana governor, Dr. Kwabena Dufo. He's a member, Sir Sam Jonah, who's an industrialist and a private sector leader, is also a member. We also have Ms. Abena Amwa, who's the chief executive officer of the Ghana Stock Exchange. She is also a member.
As a nation, we find ourselves again in debt distress after having previously declared HIPIC and solemnly assuring ourselves that we will never return to such a position. After investing in 3 oil fields and positioning ourselves as an emerging petroleum economy, we allowed policy inconsistency and investor uncertainty to drive existing and potential investors to competing jurisdictions. The result has been a declining trajectory of crude oil output at a time when we should have been consolidating gains and building resilience for the energy transition. Our handling of state-owned enterprises has also been uneven and at times haphazard. Weak governance frameworks, political interference, and inadequate financial discipline undermined institutions that were once engines of stability and credibility. We failed to raise sustainable funding for cocoa and the Cocoa Board's capacity to syndicate effectively, something it had done successfully since the early 1990s. And this was severely impaired. These are not points of blame, they are lessons in responsibility. Ghana's economic history teaches us humility. We have deepened our capital markets, expanded the range of domestic bond instruments, yet we have also experienced painful setbacks, including debt distress and decline in investor confidence. Our task now is correction without amnesia, learning from both our success and our failures.
Well, she tasked the members of the committee to ensure that the definition of the economy goes beyond the abstract. She says members of the group should work to ensure that the economy means price stability for the trader out there, that it means the ability of the teacher out there to buy products from the market at affordable prices.
For us to constantly reflect on what the term the economy should mean to our fellow citizens. Beyond an abstract concept, it should mean many things, including the following: stability for the teacher in the classroom and the nurse on night duty, fair prices and reliable markets for the farmer, predictable costs and access to credit to the trader and small business owner.
Now, Joy News is set to convene an extensive national dialogue on illegal mining tonight, following the airing of its investigative documentary, Attacks for Galamsey. The documentary, which has sparked widespread public debate, uncovered troubling allegations of local government complicity surrounding Galamsey activities, supervised by the District Chief Executive of Amansie Central, Emmanuel Obin Adjeman. In the immediate aftermath of the expose, the President has been petitioned for a prompt and thorough investigation into the matters raised. The Joy News National Dialogue is expected to bring together key stakeholders to discuss the documentary's findings and whether MMDCEs are the weakest link to the country's fight against Galamsey. Here are excerpts of the documentary.
At the bank, Benjamin himself took the 3,000 Ghana cedis and deposited it into an account labeled Main IGF. Every step was filmed, he receiving the cash, filling the deposit slip, and even the teller processing it. Benjamin made photocopies of the bank receipt and handed the copy to us. We have now successfully purchased registration. Proof that this was not an unofficial backdoor operation, but an organized, systematic revenue pipeline built into official financial structures. The deeper we went into the investigation, the more we uncover the extortion network. This time, we visited the NADMO office hours later. Here, we met Evans Amankwa, the municipal NADMO director, the same officer whose men we had earlier seen at Red's residence. He welcomed us without hesitation, fully aware of our mission because one of his men had told him about us. He inspected the receipt we had from the bank.
Well, you're out of here. You're in my reclamation. You say one line for most of my problems. I say, I'm baby. I'm free grateful for machine baby. I'm not for one cataso. And I cut that way was once and the bad operations as well. I love it. So they want to contribute.
This direction was to confirm the amount to be taken. His officer, in another meeting room, requested that 2,000 cedis be paid to avert any ambush from NADMO officials.
Next week. See, next week Monday nearby Nanka. You're director so you're yabani ye. See, then on budget 1,000 Nanka or the 1,000 Nanka in Nanka Sasa and the way Danas Nanka Monday in Nanka.
After negotiating, he agreed to the 1,000 cedis. This was paid to the lead negotiator at the director's office. A sticker available to us is dated 18 August 2025 and marked number 097, which belongs to one of the miners.
Where date now was 18 August 2025.
How much did you say?
3,000 per each.
Let me now take you to the Upper West region, where they've recorded 15 suspected meningitis cases, with 4 confirmed and 2 deaths so far. The Upper West Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Josephat Nyugazio, described the situation as relatively calm compared to last year, when the region recorded 269 suspected cases, 36 confirmed cases and 18 deaths. Now, he noted that the Health Directorate is intensifying surveillance, improving access to treatment and strengthening engagement with at-risk communities to prevent further infections and also reduce fatalities. Joy News' Upper West Regional Correspondent Rafiq Salam reports.
The objective of the press conference, according to the Upper West Regional Director of Health Services, Dr. Josephat Nyugazio, is to update the media on the meningitis situation in the region, laid bare preparation they have made to minimize the effect and to seek the support of the media to help fight the deadly disease. Dr. Josephat rolled out case figures of meningitis for the year 2025.
Last year, as a region, we recorded a total of 269 suspected cases. Out of this, we were able to confirm 36 of them through laboratory investigations. And out of the 36, unfortunately, we lost 18 of them. In fact, majority of the cases were concentrated in the Nadoli and Nandon districts.
He averred that the situation is generally calm as he compared last year's figures with the current situation, as they recorded 15 suspected cases, 4 confirmed cases with 2 deaths.
We have recorded a total of 15 suspected cases across 6 districts. Despite this number of suspected cases, I'm saying that the situation is not out of control. In addition, in terms of confirmed cases, we have, of the 15 suspected cases, 4 of them were confirmed through laboratory investigation. And out of this, there were 2 deaths, one from Nadoli district and then another from Japa district.
The Upper West Regional Director of Health Services then rolled out measures put in place to prevent and minimize the effect of the deadly disease, urging residents to adhere strictly to.
People should be encouraged to wash their hands regularly with soap and water and seek early medical treatment, because you can have the best medicines available, but if the client's report leads, it's difficult to help. And the other area we need to prioritize also has to do with vaccination for our children under 5 years old. And here we want to encourage all caregivers to ensure that children below 5 years are vaccinated, particularly not all routine vaccines, but as I indicated for meningitis, the pentavalent vaccine and the pneumococcal vaccine are really helpful in preventing meningitis due to those strains.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam. Wow.
Well, Wednesdays in Ghana are taking on a cultural touch as the Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Creative Arts has officially declared Wednesdays as National Fugu Day, effective February 11, 2026. The initiative aims to promote one of the country's most iconic traditional attires, Fugu, also known as Batakari. Joy News' Rodalyn Abensa went into town on day one to see how Ghanaians were complying with the new directive.
The initiative encourages citizens at home and abroad to wear fugu, also known as batakari, as part of efforts to preserve Ghana's cultural heritage and also promote national identity. Traditionally woven in northern Ghana, fugu has grown beyond ceremonial use to become a symbol of cultural pride embraced across the country. The ministry says the policy is also designed to boost the creative economy by increasing demand for local weavers, designers, artisans, and traders along the textile value chain. Joy News spoke to some Ghanaians who have embraced the initiative.
We got the news that we should make Wednesdays as a Fugu Day, and then as a public officer, I deem it necessary as part of our responsibility to champion the cause of the state.
I feel so proud to be in Fugu this morning. Yes, I'm a lover of Fugu. And when I heard about the communication when the president visited Zambia, and then through the Minister of Arts and Culture, Ablaji Fagomashi, declaring Wednesday as Fugu Day, I felt so proud. So I decided to be in my Fugu costume.
Actually, I wanted to wear it on Friday, but when the government said Wednesday we should wear Fugu, so I chose to wear it today. We are promoting Ghana's culture, and we know our culture is very, very important to us. And if we promote it more, the other countries that are mocking us will know that it is our culture, so they will not be doing it.
We Northerners, this is one of the most beautiful outfit that we normally put when we want to go out.
Even my traditional world. So by this time, the whole Ghana wealth Fugu, because Fugu is good.
For Joy News, Rodalyn Abensa's report read to you.
Let's do some business news now. The Bank of Ghana is taking some aggressive measures to improve dollar supply on the market. To this end, it has moved to revise the total amount of foreign exchange assets that commercial banks can hold. More in the following report.
Based on the revised regulations, the Bank of Ghana is seeking to limit commercial banks' ability to keep foreign exchange assets, that is, buy and hold. This should mean that as commercial banks receive these foreign exchange assets, steps must be immediately taken to release them onto the market. This should also mean that the regulator is seeking to ensure that dollar holdings of these banks is less than their liabilities. The development should result in banks generating more trades to help them do away with speculation of trades. The Bank of Ghana, for instance, has moved to ensure that the single currency position limit of each currency that used to be between 5 to -5% has been reduced to 0 to -10%. The directive is seeking to restrict commercial banks' ability to hold long positions of these foreign currencies. These regulations are not new per se, as it has been in force since December last year, but it has now moved to clearly publicize it and also ensure that the calculation should be done this way by all the financial institutions. However, it is not clear for now whether the recent market development when it comes to the pressure on the Ghana cedi has been the major reason for the Bank of Ghana moving to enforce these regulations to help sustain the recent gains of the local currency.
And the CEO of MTN Ghana, Stephen Blewett, has announced plans to leverage the country's current economic stability and digital infrastructure to invest more in its operations, aiming to expand and maintain its market dominance. Speaking exclusively to Joy Business, Mr. Blewett stated that the investment will continue to enhance network quality, expanding coverage and fostering innovation to empower the next generation of innovators and contributing to Ghana's economic growth.
Innovation is really key for us. We keep innovating, and the key for innovation is to innovate for ourselves, but more importantly, to bring our customers along. So I think that's what keeps the momentum going and keeps our position. We have a brand that people love. You know, I mean, everywhere I go, everywhere you go, so everyone tells me that. And people in Ghana see MTN as their brand. This is our company, which is great for us. But you've got to respect that. And then we invest. Over the last 5 years, we've invested, even during the hyperinflation, we invested over 5 years, $1 billion. So, in this industry, it's not an industry that you build sites and you walk away and you say it's done. You invest, you invest, you invest, and we invest in our people and in our network.
And it is something you don't intend to renege on, you intend to invest in as well.
Of course, we'll continue.
Oh, it's nice to see the MTN CEO in Fugu. That's nice. Okay, that's it for business and that's it for AM News. If you want more news, I know a place, myjoyonline.com. My name is Denisia Pomaije. Up next is sports. Enjoy the rest of the show. Have a lovely day.